Hello, Morpeko Madness. Blinn and I are back for a second round of power rankings, this time for Dusk. Sorry for the delay. Blinn had to go on holiday, but he's back now. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
So if you watch the Dawn video, this is going to be very similar to the Dawn video. Each coach will have two slides, one with the prep doc snapshot of their team, the one with their type chart, and then we also, like last time, have our handy dandy little tier maker here, which, in case you didn't see the last video, I'll go through the tiers quick. We have is throwing if they lose a game, title contender, competent, has heard of Little Cup before, and still haven't got this whole baby Mons thing figured out. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Usual power rankings disclaimers. These are our opinions. Feel free to disagree with them how you wish. It's all for fun, etc., etc. All right, let's get started. Okay, so first team we have is Emilio. This is an interesting one to start with. Do you want to start, Blinn, or you want me to start?
I can start.
Go ahead.
So Emilio took Grookey first, which a little bit of a throw, but it's not the worst. Especially
solid
if Grookey's a mon you want to use.
Yeah.
And then as was drafting, picked their first 5 mons, and then pinged me in general chat and was like, I can't be bothered figuring out some picks. Can you pick for me? So that's where the other 2 good mons on this team come in, Scorbunny and Mankey.
Yes.
The rest of this team is, I don't even know. Steel is not a super important type in Little Cup, and yet somehow we have 2 of them.
Yep.
At the absence of we have no dark type and no flying type.
Yep. The only reason that there's a fighting type is because you put one on this team.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't even know what to say about this team. Other than look at the ground weakness.
I was gonna say, this is what I want to say about this team. This is one of the most egregious type charts I think I have ever seen.
Yeah.
If this team plays versus something with high horsepower, it just loses immediately.
Yeah.
Or earth power.
The funny thing is, they also have no ghost resist.
Oh, true. Yeah, wrong way. Yeah, they straight up don't at all.
Yeah. There is, yeah. So, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know where to, go from here.
This team desperately needs a flying and a dark. That would help address both of those very major problems.
It needs to drop, half of their team.
Yeah.
Marini is in Little Cup.
It's fine.
It's
it's good at clicking knockoff. But
that's about it.
Yeah.
There's just so many decent water types. And the problem is there's no good dark types left on this dock.
Yeah, there really is.
They just didn't draft one. There's Inkay, which can be okay sometimes.
Inkay's fine. It's not a ghost resist though.
Yeah, there's a Purloin, which is decent.
It's fine.
This team also just needs a normal type.
Yeah.
Also, this team's whole removal is Kabuto.
Which is not great.
It's a spinner, but it's not great.
Also, this team's speed cap is 17.
Yeah. It's just also they drafted Kabuto when Anorith is in the same tier and is just better in every way for the same amount of points.
Yes.
And it gives them a speed tier.
True, Anorith is 18, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. There's just so many better options they could have drafted. I don't understand the round 3 normal.
I really don't. Yeah, either.
That's not good.
It's really not. Okay. Anything else you want to say, or should we tier this?
I think we should tier this.
Okay.
This is...
I assume that this is... let's see where I gotta find his... Oh, there it is. I assume that this is very much going in the bottom tier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that this is very realistically probably going to be the worst team right off the bat. Probably. But we'll see. All right. Moving on. Okay, we have Brightwing next, which is a dramatically different story.
Yeah, I'll let you start with this one.
Okay, so we're starting off with Volby, aka one of the two best mons on the format. It's already pretty good. Uh, then you've got also Chin Chow, which is also a really solid mon, just like good pivot. I mean, 2 immunity abilities is also really solid. And then we've got Elekid for a really good speed tier. We've got like Bunnelby for really good breaking power. And like overall, this team just has like it fills basically all of the roles it needs to fill. And like really the only thing that's missing is that there's no fighting. That's like the only like major issue I see with this team. And even that's like a not like necessarily the end of the world, but it is a notable absence.
Yeah, I would say that this team can sometimes just struggle to break dark types. Like Flabebe's there,
Fair.
but like you without a strong fighting and without, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Elekid's the only mon on this team that actually gets a fighting type move. Maybe Sandshrew, but
Sandshrew I think might get superpower.
yeah, it just
I think Bunnelby actually does
dark types are
too.
not. Yeah, okay, maybe not. The one thing that I did see is that Shieldon's probably going to have to come a little bit more often than it wants to here.
Yeah.
Just being like quite nice for resists.
Mm.
It's your only normal resist, and normal being like quite good in Little Cup.
Yeah.
It's also one of, I mean, you actually have 3 really good flying resists.
Yeah.
But just being that only normal resist, and sort of, yeah, I think it holds together this type chart
It
fairly
does, yeah.
well.
Here we can take a quick look at it, but there isn't really anything particularly egregious
Yeah,
here. Like type chart wise, it looks pretty good. Like sure, the team's a
yeah.
little
The other
ground weak,
thing
but it
is,
also
that's the
has
other thing
3
is,
resists, so
yeah. The other thing is, it's like a little bit fairy weak considering Salander is not
I
really resist.
mean
So that's
that
another spot where
that's
Shieldon.
that's not really an issue in Little Cup though. There's like
Yeah, it's.
fairy just don't exist.
I mean, there's a few decent ones.
It's like Spritzy. Uh,
It's Mime Junior, which I'm actually not sure
Mime,
if it got drafted.
Mime Junior is like solid, yeah. Um, but yeah,
Oh, it did get drafted. I
it's
love
already
that.
kind of the end of the list.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Milcery is the goated fairy type, and I will get a kill with it this season. But yeah, I think we
Trust.
tier this.
Yeah. I think it's
This is
for sure it's at least title contender. The question is, do we put it in top tier?
it's got good speed tiers. It's got decent it's got very good removal.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
top tier.
Volibee plus
Yeah,
Mantike for
this
removal.
is top tier.
I think
Like
it
the only thing
probably
I'd
is.
say is there's a couple of mons that I don't really like. Like I think Elekid is not my favorite mon, but it's good. Like that's personal preference.
Yeah,
I really don't like Flabebe. And Mantike, like double Mantike feels just a bit superfluous here. Like
yeah,
it's you've already got a really good water and a really good flying. Um,
yeah. It just kind of is vibing, but
but
it's still
also
a really good team.
yeah, like I'd almost rather see like a Clampo on this team instead of
Clamper!
Mantike. Just as like I get why you want the second water, but just make it like an all out like I'm gonna kill absolutely everything
Yeah.
with it. And funnily enough, they're actually the same points. So that
Oh
would be
yeah.
my recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Just
Totally.
like drop the Mantike for Clampo
Yeah.
and just give you like something that's just really scary.
True. Man.
But yeah, I think we should move on.
Okay.
We're up to
We got Sadie next.
Sadie. So this team, we got Mianfu, and we got round 3 Glimmer, 2 really good picks, and
Yep.
we got Late Sun, which I think Late Sun is good,
Yeah.
but everything else is kind of just not good. Licky Tongue is way too early, and I just think with the amount of decent normals around, I just don't really get why Sadie went in so hard for it.
Yeah.
Sandile is decent. It's a decent one. Quaxley being all of your. Actually, I guess Glimmer is removable. Quaxley just. It's not great. Duskull was fun. Duskull's a fun one, but Beldum and Tynamo just are useless. So this
Tynamo
team
so
has.
far has missed 2 charge beams and died. That has
I
been
did see that.
that was pretty
Yeah.
tragic, to be fair, but yeah.
I mean, what did Sadie really expect? Let's be real.
I mean, it would have killed the Dewfire that then killed like 4 Mons. So
yeah, but also Dynamo has Charge Beam, Spark, Knockoff, and Terra Blast as its good moves.
I see.
It has. Why did they not go into the ground type? And then this thing cannot do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dynamo and Beldum get no moves. Quaxley is just not great. Doesn't have a good speed tier. Doesn't have a good bulk line. Sandal's okay, but I'd be ditching the Licky Tongue, the Quaxley, the Beldum, and the Dynamo, and just picking up you need some speed badly.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any decent speed. Weasel is there. Weasel is good speed. What is Goldeen? I feel like Goldeen's only 17, but
I think it's 17.
17. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. Yeah, there's a Weasel there. Just pick that up. That's really what I would have to say about this team.
Mm-hmm.
There's also just not a whole lot of synergy between the sun and everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like this is not the best team.
We can take a quick
But
look at the type
also,
chart.
there's not. Yeah.
The ground resists are Tynamo and Duskull.
Yeah.
This type chart is a little misleading.
Yeah, the fighting resists. What are the fighting? Oh, it's
Duskull and
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not egregious. But the one thing that is egregious is the dragon resist, and there are actually some pretty decent dragons in Little Cup. You got Axu, you've got Bagon, you've got a few pretty decent ones.
Yeah.
Gibble, that's another good one. Tyrant's
pretty good,
one.
yeah.
Even Dratini's half decent.
Yeah, she's not bad.
And the big thing with dragons is they get Draco.
Yeah.
And Draco, being a high base power, excuse me, is just going to go through this team.
Yeah. It kind of just claims one every time it gets clicked.
Yeah, there's also just looking at this team, there's not really what wants to run on a Violite here?
Licky Tongue.
That's kind of it.
Mienfoo sometimes.
Maybe the Mienfoo, but
Quaxley, I guess.
Well, yeah, what wants to run Berry Juice? Not a lot. Maybe the Duskull.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah. It just doesn't really take advantage of a lot of the good Little Cup stuff.
Yeah.
But then again, it's still got a Mienfoo, a Glimmer, Vulpix, Bulbasaur. You can make a half decent team out of this.
Yeah,
so I think if we tier,
there's a decent skeleton here.
I think this has heard of Little Cup before.
Okay, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah,
there's definitely potential here.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Now we move on to
yes,
this thing.
Yes, this guy. I've heard of this guy.
I will let you start on this.
I was gonna say, so usually I guess for people who, well, unless you're an HBF, you haven't seen our PRs before. But when we have cases where it's one of us that we're doing the PRs for, usually we let the other people talk first, and then we can have our rebuttals or whatever. So okay, so yeah, I can go through this. Okay, so we're starting off with Porygon, obviously a very solid mon. Somehow Timber made it back to him, which is absolutely insane. That mon is really good. And then we also have Meowth, which is a really nice speed tier, paired up with the Wingull, an additional good speed tier. And then we just kind of have, overall, we're rounding it out with some decent utilities. We got Pumpkaboo as additional fighting resist, Bronzor as a flying resist, and also just a solid rocker. We have Houndour as our dark, which is okay-ish. It's fine. The other stuff is so good that it's pretty forgivable. Ekans for like glare support, Cubone's like a decently solid ground, and then we have Milcery who is vibing. I think
Pretty much.
type chart wise, this looks pretty good type chart wise. I don't see any like huge like there is only one flying resist, which is the Bronzor, but Bronzor is pretty good flying resist, so it's workable. And like Porygon also has like just pretty good neutral bulk. So like it also can kind of be a pseudo flying resist. But yeah, go ahead, Blend.
Yeah, I mean, the Porygon and Timber like is just the best two things that were available, and Meowth is my favorite little cup mon to use. Like it's just such a clutch mon to get you out of situations. And then from there, I just basically wanted to use mons that I hadn't used before. Like I've never used Wingull, Pumpkaboo. I remember back in the early days of Little Cup Draft, like people taking round one Pumpkaboo. Like how
That's hilarious.
my guy has fallen
Yeah.
before people realized that Flyings and Darks were like the best two of the best types in the format.
Yeah.
Pumpkaboo is good. Bronzor is there because, as you said, I had no flying resist, and I kind of just needed something. Houndour actually got a lot of good stuff since last time I looked at it, so either this gen or last gen.
Fair enough.
It now gets some really fun moves like Comeuppance,
And
Counter,
Trailblaze.
Trailblaze, Nasty Plot, which is another big one, Destiny Bond. Like, it's just some really cool utility.
Yeah.
It also gets Wisp, I think. Yeah, it does. It gets Wisp. So it's like, it's kind of cool. Especially since I left my Dark that late. I thought it was a pretty decent pickup.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Ekans, like, I kind of just discovered when I was mocking Necro for another Little Cup team tour. And
Yes.
it just feels kind of cool. Like, Intimidate, Poison type. I did need a fighting resist, considering I had double normal and my Psychic was part Steel. And I felt like
I mean, you had
Ekans would be good.
Pumpkaboo.
Yeah, Pumpkaboo, true. But I did want another one.
Fair.
And just Knock Spam plus Glare plus like Gunk Shot into Giga Drain. It just seems like a good one. Cubone is there for vibing because it does a buttload of damage, but like is not it's not that great. And then Milcery was ironically just it was there because my fighting like weakness I was still kind of fighting weak. Actually, Wingull. Actually, I don't know why I drafted Milcery. I think it was just the best 1 pointer left.
That's
It
fair.
actually gets some. It gets some moves. Like it's a fairy type that gets Gleam, which is better than half of the 1 pointers.
True.
And he's kind of vibing.
He do be vibing.
But yeah, like I definitely don't think this is the strongest Little Cup team I've ever drafted. It's just a bunch of guys that I wanted to use.
Yeah, it's still pretty solid though. It has its bases covered.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll let you two this one.
Okay. I think I'm gonna for now just put this in title contender. I don't think this is like a super crazy team, but like it's definitely very solid and like also just some personal bias knowing you, I imagine that it'll work out pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna put you in title contender.
I mean, when I don't choke away week 1, that should be pretty good.
Yeah. Anywho, moving on.
Let's
we have Lonely Lit next.
So this is a team.
It is indeed a team.
Psychic is certainly a choice in Little Cup. And then you have Mono Dark Resist being Tinkertink because Carvana drops to every move that's ever thrown at it. Like it's
also functionally you have no Ghost Resist because the only Ghost Resist is also the Carvana.
Yeah, because Carvana has 20 in both its defense and SPDF.
Yeah, it is not a switch into anything. It just dies.
Yeah. Yeah, so like Abra is a good round 1. Slowpoke is not a. I honestly, I don't think Slowpoke is a very good mon in Little Cup, just because being part psychic hurts it quite a lot, and regen just isn't as impactful. Teleport's really nice. Like I can see the thinking of teleport into Abra, but I just don't think it's super good. Onyx, I think round 3 Onyx was a really good pickup.
Yeah.
I actually thought about picking Onyx round 3 myself. But it's really good. Carvana round 4 again, like, is really solid. But from there, it just kind of like this team has 3 good mons. Well, with Tinkertink, it's 4. Slowpoke, I just don't think is like it's good, but you've missed out on so much other really good stuff by taking it that early.
Yeah.
Um, Swablu is your flying, not great. This team has no fighting type.
Yeah.
Um, Gossifleur, Lavester, and Dreepy. I feel like this is, and I'm gonna have a look at the doc now to confirm it. Yeah, this is just another case of not wanting to draft top heavy. Like Swablu's 5, Gossifleur's 6, Dreepy is 3, Lavester's 10. Like
Yeah.
this, yeah, this team needs to
I'm like
drop half of its psychic
I'm like
types.
looking at this type chart too, like there's a lot of red here in these like in this section here. There's a lot of shared weaknesses, which is not ideal.
Yeah, well, there's double ups on. You've got 2 ground types, 2 water types, and 3 psychic types. Like,
Yeah, so yeah,
I've never seen a
grass
team that
grass
almost looks
weak.
grass weak.
Yeah. Bug weak.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you draft 3 psychic types.
Yeah. I
Like, the
mean,
Tinkating's actually
half the
so
team is weak
waterous.
to bug, half the team resists bug. So
Yeah, it's.
it's a pretty
I'm
chaotic
just looking at
matchup.
this team, and there also needs to be just some more offense. Like, what gets kills? Onyx, Abra, and Carvana.
Yeah, that's
This team needs
basically
a
it.
normal type. This team needs a fighting type. This team needs a flying type that it can actually do something. The problem is that there's just not as many of those good ones left.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so
All right.
I feel like hmm, I'm just having a look at what flying types are left, and there's really not a lot. Like, yeah, there's really not a lot left for this team to pick
Yeah.
up. Um,
So
I
where are
think
we tearing this?
they still haven't got this whole baby mons thing figured out.
I think though it is ahead of Grookey plus
Oh,
all of
it's
the ground
100%.
weeks.
Yeah, it's 100% ahead of that.
Okay. I think yeah,
Um,
we are agreed on that. Yeah, I think that's fair, honestly. Like this is maybe fixable, but as is, yeah, it's just it's not it.
yeah, it needs a bit of work to be
Yeah. All right.
fixed.
Moving on. We have Mo.
Which this team honestly just has a really nice top 7.
It's pretty
I
solid, yeah.
actually like. I just really like this team. Ghastly is a fun mon.
Ghastly's cool, yeah.
Tyrant, if you have good removal, is really hard to kill. And then we have 2 really good removers. I think Toad School is a super underrated mon in Little Cup Draft. I actually kind of wanted Toad School myself.
Fair
It was
enough.
a bit of a pipe dream that it would last to round 4, but it's just like it hits 17 speed, it gets rapid spin. Ground and grass coverage in Little Cup is actually quite strong, especially when you realize that this thing gets Sludge Bomb and Gleam for coverage as well.
Yeah.
Um, it also gets knockoff, so like knockoff spam. I think this is a really cool team. Um,
My main problem with it is so the fighting resists are Ghastly and Blip Bug. So like
yeah,
this team has a very rough matchup into fighting types with knock. Like
yeah.
that's
I honestly,
my main
yeah,
concern I have.
yeah, and I think that's very fair. Honestly, just drop the Chimchar and pick up a good fighting resist for 7 points.
That's
Assuming that
fair.
actually Blip Bug's 2, so you can drop that. What good fighting resists are in 7 or 8 that we could recommend here? Um, but ghost type. Is there good poison hanging around? Actually, if they wanted webs, they could pick up Surskit.
Yeah.
Like it's double water, but that's an option. It's a half decent. Sizzlipede is also a fairly decent fighting resist. Shelmet, I think, is actually one of the best fighting resists around.
Oh, Shelmet actually has a very good fighting resist, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like it,
I mean, Shelmet doesn't die in standard Hello, God.
yeah, Garupi is like really good fighting resist because it's quad resist.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Shelmet with shell armor, like it also has slow baton pass with recovery, and it gives you a spiker, which I don't think this team has. If you've got double rapid spin, I feel like you kind of want spikes.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually would be pretty solid. A pretty solid change out for Chimchar for Shelmet. I could definitely vibe with that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think type chart wise, there wasn't anything particularly notable here. Like it's, I guess
the psychic matchup
there is
not
only one
amazing.
psychic resist, which is Meowth. So that's a bit of an issue. Playing against the Abra team will be painful, but we will make do, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, I really like this team. Meowth isn't my favorite mon, but it's good. It gives this team another speed tier.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of. You've got what 3 mons at 17, an 18, and a 19 speed.
Yeah.
I also just don't know if Blue Bug's really worth it, but I can see why having it plus good removal is nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a title contender for me.
I think it's reasonable, yeah.
I think it could be towards the lower end of title contender.
Let's see. We'll put him here for now, and then we can adjust.
Yeah, we can adjust as we go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good with that. Moving on.
Yeah.
All right, Riptide. Okay, so I have spent a lot of time looking at this team recently because I am playing them this week. So basically, what I have figured out, what I think at least what this team is attempting to do, is that it's HO, because you've got I don't know what the Slowpoke is doing, or for that matter, I think the Diglett is mostly for the speed tier, but it's like you got like your Veil Setter, you've got Hazard Spam with Dwebble. You have a Griever that the thing that the dog is doing is spin blocking. I think is what I have determined what the dog is doing. And then you've got like Hailcore, you got Cottony to act as like memento like disruption shenanigans. You got Belly Drum Poliwag, and then you've got like SD Torchic. I think that is what this team's game plan is.
The thing is though, Griever's actually one of the best fighting resists because of Fluffy.
True.
So that's like kind of what it does in Little Cup. I just don't understand this team. So Torchic is one of those mons that like if you can take away its Torchic is the Dracovic for Little Cup. If you can take away its resist and just let it click Life Orb Fire Blast because it gets no coverage with Speed Boost, it'll run away with the game. So if you're drafting around Torchic, you want a really good way to break fire types and water types. How does this team break water types? It has a Cottony, which has 0. It has 37 special attack as its best offensive stat.
Yes.
Which is just not good. It hits 14 special attack at modest. That's
pretty good. Sad.
And how does this team break fire types? Well, it has Dwebble.
It is Dwebble,
but it doesn't switch in. It has Diglett, which doesn't switch in. Their switch into fire types is the Poliwag, which is just like that one's just shit.
And the Torchic smile.
Yeah, sure. The Torchic switches in and can't do anything. This is the Hail is fine. They also have no way to get into their Hail mons, like unless Slipper Galar gets teleport.
It does not.
Well, then it's just
that is a big issue with this team is it has no momentum, other than like Cottony memento, and I guess Eevee Baton Pass. But like otherwise, it doesn't have momentum.
I'm genuinely wondering where all the points on this team went. Because like there's no real good mon. The round 5 Dwebble is an amazing steal. Like that getting a round 5 Dwebble should make you like one of the top teams. But we've got round 3 Diglett, round 4 Grievered, round 2 Slowpoke. Dwebble is this team's most expensive mon.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, along with the Sandshrew. Eevee is like, they overpaid for Eevee. Cottony's not very good. Poliwag for 6. think we might owe this person an apology for leaving Poliwag at 6. I don't know what it does. I guess it gets belly drum.
It does get belly drum. I think that is literally why they drafted us, so it can do belly drum stuff.
But it's not even... I guess it's belly drum on 19 speed, which is
it's fast. Cool. Yeah.
But it's not... The amount of priority around in Little Cup, like, you really have to draft around this thing. I just haven't. Because it now has to be its resist.
So here, let's look at the type chart quick.
The type chart, their fire resist, again, not very good.
Yeah.
Their ghost resist is just the Eevee.
Yeah.
Their rock resist is just the Diglett.
Yeah.
And guess what move most rock types get? Earthquake. Their dark resist is only the Cottony. Like, how has this team got like so little good resist?
I mean,
there's also no dark, no fighting, and no flying.
Yeah, they are like they are all in on the HO plan. This team has no defensive structure at all.
And then also, like, we were nice and we're like, hey, Phil Little Cup, a bit of a tip. Fighting, flying, and darks are like the best types, both offensive and defensively. And they didn't draft a single one.
Yeah.
Like, that's where my comment, like, is this a random.org draft comes from? Because, like, I can't figure out what any of the thought process going into this team was, if there was any.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they literally were just like, I'm drafting the Veilmon, and then I'm drafting things that I think will abuse Veil. I think was their entire game plan, straight up.
Then why is the Diglett here? Why is the Slowpoke here?
The Diglett, I think, was originally here for speed tiers. And then later on, they got the Poliwag further down. And what was the other mon you were asking about?
And why is the Cottony here?
The Cottony is here for Memento. I think, like, legit, I think that is why the Cottony is here.
Let's rank this before we hurt anyone's feelings.
Okay.
This is the bottom team. Like,
I honestly don't think so. I prepping versus this team.
This is worse than Grookey.
I think that this team is legitimately threatening. Like,
I mean, I could see like top of having got this Baby Mons things figured out.
I would put them.
I just think
I'd put them at like the bottom of has heard of Little Cup before.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll put them at the top of this for now. I think I see the vision here. It's not ideal, but I kind of see what they were going for here. So I don't think it's quite as egregiously bad as you seem to think it is.
I will put you in touch with my optometrist if you think you see a vision.
I mean, we'll see after this week, I guess. But like, yeah, I think that there actually is something here, but we will see.
Anyway, on to the next team.
Yeah. We have Diamond.
Yes. Round 1 Minccino.
Yeah, there were 4 max point mons left, and they took round 1 Minccino.
There's also a round 2 Zorua.
Which is also very early, yes.
There's a round 3 Axu, which is like almost okay.
That's fine.
The only mons that were drafted at a good time was exactly the Doduo. And maybe the Omanyte. Like,
I mean, round 4 Fungus isn't awful.
It's not egregious. I still think I wouldn't go round 4 for Fungus. The Flittle, we've heard in Dawn that I think that mon is the biggest fraud.
Yeah.
Because it gets, like, it needs Terra to be really any good. Because if we look at its special move pool is Psyshock, Disarming Voice, and Terra Blast.
It doesn't get stored power.
It does get stored power, but, like, it's got 30 HP, 30 defense, 30 Spadef. It's not hanging around long enough to be able to use stored power.
That's fair.
Because after what, like 1 Calm Mind and 1 Speed, then that's I guess that's 80 base power. It's the same as Psyshock.
Yeah.
Like, you then need to run Protect as well. It's just, yeah. It's not a good one at all. Litwick, I don't know why that's here.
Yeah, Litwick is
not.
Especially when you already had Fungus as a fighting resist, I really don't know why the logic is here.
Yeah, Litwick's niche in Little Cup, and I very much say niche, is it's just got a few good immunities. Like Flame Body and Flash Fire are two pretty good abilities.
Yeah.
It does get Wisp, gets like Calm Mind Acid Armor, sort of shenanigans, but it's just not great. It's this many points because it has a move pool of yes
Yes.
with a decent special attack stat, and I think it can Trick Room? Yeah, it can Trick Room. So it's like, it's okay in that scenario, but it's just, like, why do you want a Trick Room with this team when you have a Speed Boost Mon, a Minccino, a Doduo, a Flittle?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
it's just,
the only thing that wants to use the Trick Room at all is the Litwick itself.
yeah.
Let's take a quick look at the type chart.
I
There is
am,
no rock resist.
yeah, there's no Rock Resist, and there's one Steel Resist, which is the Litwick.
And there's only one.
There is also
There's no dragon
no Dragon,
resist. Uh,
one Dark Resist,
one
which
flying
is
resist. The dark resist is Zoroa. The flying resist is Omanite.
this team also has no fighting type.
Nope.
Let's
And
see,
the
are there any
flying
good
type is
fighting?
a Zubat.
Yeah,
Oh, and the Doduo actually. Never mind. Never mind.
yeah.
Doduo is
The
real.
Doduo, like
Doduo
this
is
is the
real.
best flying type we've seen in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like this team. Where did all the points go? Okay, so if we take the Litwick and the Zubat were both 5 points, everything else was 9, 10, or 11 points.
Why is Zubat 5?
Because it's like a really good fighting resist.
Okay, fair.
And by really good, I mean it's not.
Yeah.
It also gets Scarf, Infiltrator, Brave Bird as like its one set.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like if you're using Zubat, it's a physical attacker. You run Brave Bird, U-turn, Crunch, and like Poison Fang
Yeah.
or like Leech Life or something like that, and you just scarf it with Infiltrator. It's kind of fun,
That's
but
kind
it's
of
not
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's again like it works on a very specific team. Yeah, I just don't. It always feels like they were scared to draft, like waste their points or some whatever. But it's just they have good speed tiers at least. Like Minccino Doduo is good speed tiers. No, I'm not counting the Flittle because that mon shouldn't exist on this team.
Lol.
What's their removal? Is their removal just Doduo and Minccino?
I think it's
Oh,
Doduo
I
and
guess it's
and Zubat.
Unzuba. So it's not good.
Not great.
Yeah, like it's okay. This team's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just missing a lot. Like has heard of Little Cup before, I think, and the bottom end of it because they got Minccino, which is a good mon. They got round 6 Doduo. Again, I say it. If you get a round 6 Doduo, your team should be phenomenal, but they just haven't taken any value in the first 5 rounds. So
Yeah.
the Doduo kind of just patches them up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Next is
Uh,
Gex.
so how
Oh
on earth
yes,
is
the
Venereal around?
one-liners here.
Yes, you obviously missed the round 10 Venerian Dawn,
I
which I
did.
find it even funnier that you did your Dawn one-liners before this.
I did, yes. Which is why it's especially funny.
Yeah, looking at
Anyway,
this team just kind of feels okay.
yeah,
Pony, Sprigatito, Bunnieri, are the only ones over 17. Fletchling, I guess you just run Gale Wings Acrobatics.
yeah,
And then Frillish is a pretty decent Scarfer. The speed tiers aren't amazing. I feel like there were a lot better fighting types than Riolu left round 3. Actually,
oh yeah,
like, there was Stuffle around, which was really good. There was Pancham round 3.
Bancham
There
was still
was,
around round 3, yeah.
yeah, there was, like, even Krogunk, I think, is a better mon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Rio was definitely a bit early.
yeah. There was still Mankey around round 3, which I
Oh
think
yeah.
is, like, really good.
Monkey.
Yeah. There was Crabrawler as well. I think that one's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like got taken a bit early. Nose Pass again, I feel is a bit early.
Yeah, round 5 Nose
Togepi and
Pass is
Shinx.
too early.
Togepi and Shinx, again, we feel like we're scared to go top heavy.
Yeah.
And just like wanted a couple, like that's 12 points on those two mons. Shinx is not very good. Togepi is okay. Again,
Yeah.
7 points for Swinub. I feel like this team would be better serviced just getting, like, going harder on the top tiers.
Yeah.
Even at the moment, like, what's the removal on this team?
Fletchling. That's it.
Okay, so what we do need to do is we need to ditch the Shinx and the Nose Pass, and we're going to pick up the Anorith that is still there.
Fair.
And we are also going to ditch the Togepi, and we're going to pick up just something else that's really, like, kind of good. There's ditch the Swinub, pick up Gibble. I think Gibble's really nice on this team.
Yeah.
Uh,
I could see it.
yeah. I just think there's like just upgrade some of your mons. Like be happy running an 8 or 9 mon roster with just a 1 or 2 pointer at the end.
Yeah.
And upgrade some of your mons.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a quick look at the deck
Yeah,
chart.
that's what my recommendation would be.
So no fairy resist, as we discussed, that isn't necessarily game breaking. One rock resist, one psychic resist. Rock resist is.
The rock resist is Riolu and the fairy resist is Pony.
Oh.
Which is it's not
right,
great.
because this team has no dark.
This team has no dark type. Again, another one. Like I feel like immediately, if you have no dark type, you can't be in either of the top 2 tiers. Just because of how important it is.
Dark is a really important typing to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've probably said enough. Let's tier it.
Could be competent.
I think this might be our first competent. Yeah.
Yeah, this is competent. It's decent, but it's not amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
We now have
moving on.
We now have Sobble.
Yes.
We have Subsweep, which.
So this is already invalid because we leaked this slide and they already made transactions and they made this team worse.
Oh, they dropped. I need to bring up the transactions. Where are we? Like
they dropped Cutiefly.
They dropped Cutiefly, and that was like Cutiefly is one of the 4 good mons on this team.
Yeah.
And they dropped it.
Yeah.
Like, where's the transactions? I'm trying to find the channel now. Dusk transactions.
Yeah,
they dropped the Cutiefly and the Cacnea for Machop and Ferroseed. So they picked up a fighting type, which is good, but they dropped the wrong mon.
They didn't need a fighting type when they had a Scraggy.
Scraggy. What is happening here? They picked up a steel type and yeah, I don't know. Cutiefly is one of the actual good mons on this team. Amara is I don't know why it's here.
Yeah, it just doesn't really do much here.
So there's 4 good mons on this team, and they you can make a little box around them.
Yes,
it's Scraggy, Cutiefly, Munchlax, Drifloon.
Yeah, it's these ones here.
Yeah, they're the 4 good mons.
And now Cutiefly is gone.
Yeah. Cacnea is okay. Whelmer's it's got a niche. Paldean Wooper is, unaware. There's lots of setup in Little Cup. It doesn't matter. It's just weak enough to get killed.
Yeah, it just dies.
Let's see, it has 25 SPDF.
Yeah.
And 45 defense.
That's pretty sad.
It actually has 3 really good abilities, and the 3 good abilities are why it's priced where it is.
Yeah.
Because it also gets good coverage, and it gets Curse, Little Cover. It gets Spikes and Rocks, which is... This team, honestly, all it needed was a way to punish Defog.
Yeah.
Because you have Webs, you have Hazards and Wooper. You also have Spikes and Cacnea.
Yeah. Well,
just pick one of the Spikes.
Past tense.
Yeah. You got Spin Block and Drifloon, and if you look at all of the Rapid Spinners, in the tier. The only one that really beats Drifloon, like outright, is Anorith.
Yeah.
But even then, that's not taking Shadow Balls or Acrobatics really well. Then there's Bramblin, which you outspeed, but it can hit you with a hard Ghost move. So it's like iffy. I guess Kabuto, and we're not calling Roly-Poly, and Sancho, but again, they're not taking moves super well.
Yeah.
So Drifloon's a really good spin blocker here. Cutiefly is setting the webs for Scraggy. Like Scraggy is one of the hardest mons to use in Little Cup, and has such a range of, if you use it correctly, because there's plenty of sets. Like you can have a bulky Rest Shed Skin set, you can have Bulk Up, you can have Dragon Dance, you could have Scarf Scraggy, you could have like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Most matchups, though, only one of those sets is going to be good or like the correct set. So it's got a really high skill ceiling, but if you use it well, it comes off. Putting a Cutiefly in there with webs has just made like the Bulk Up set so much better.
Yeah.
Because now you don't need to Dragon Dance to outspeed everything.
Yeah.
Because you've got the webs.
So now you just bulk up, drain punch everything to death.
Yeah, and it means that your opponent, if they have a fairy type or if they have a strong mon with a fairy move, might genuinely run boots so that they can kill the Scraggy.
Yeah.
So you got the Wooper there, which is like, looking at it as a decent suicide lead. Like it gets haze. It gets all three hazards, which is why it's priced where it is.
Yeah.
So dropping the Cacnea was correct. Darumaka is a weird mon because you want to use Hustle.
I like Darumaka. He's
and
a
if
funny
you
little guy.
are good enough to hit your moves, it's insane. But it also only has one set, and it only has a Scarf set because it hits 15 speed.
Yeah.
Again, with the webs, that is really good. You can run Life Orb, and
yeah,
you can
like
U-turn.
Like Life Orb Darumaka just claims things. They just die.
Yeah. There's two things that this team needs, and I think we drop Amara and we drop the Cacnea for them. And I would say drop the Sobble, but it's a mascot pick, so I respect.
I respect the Sobble.
And it's only 5.
Yeah.
So we drop the Amara and we drop the Cacnea. That gives us 16 points. We just need some killing power.
Yeah.
I also personally think that they should drop the Whaler, the Whalmer for Clamperl, because webs plus Clamperl is insane.
Yes, it is.
Like you run Deep Sea Tooth. The thing that gets Clamperl is 18 speed and higher Scarfers can outspeed it after a smash.
Yes.
And because you don't really want to run White Herb or Eviolite, you're very susceptible to getting killed.
Yes.
Clamperl is nuts. Also, Scarf Clamperl hits 19 speed, which means that Clamperl under webs actually outspeeds all of the 18 speed mons. So you can just run a non-smash Clamperl under webs and it function pretty good.
It can, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a no-brainer for this team, and we need to ditch that Amara for just like a good flying type. Actually, no, not a good flying type.
Yeah, we have
Let's have a look at the type chart. Let's have a look at the type chart. It's actually it's pretty decent.
It's not awful, yeah.
There's only one flying resist.
Yeah.
And that's the Amara. So, okay, we need a flying resist if we're ditching the Amara.
Yes.
So we're ditching Whalmer for Clamperl, we're ditching Cacnea and Amara to hopefully pick up a couple of flying resists.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that makes the team pretty good. And there's not amazing flying resists left. And just a way to punish Defog. Unironically, Fomantis, because
yeah,
you get the evasiveness boost.
It is pretty funny.
A really funny way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just get a rock type.
Yeah.
There's so many of them in Little Cup, and so many of them are good with Sturgy. Oh, Geodude. That's what this team needs, a Geodude.
That would work.
Drop the Amara for a Geodude, and drop the Cacnea for Mantis. And I think that's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So I think if we rank this,
Yes.
If we are ranking the team that they have made post transactions, they're in the bottom tier
Yeah.
because they dropped like the second best mon.
But we should rate the
I
team
think,
as it was pre-transactions, I think.
yeah, and I think this is competent.
Yeah.
There's a vision here, and this is like you sort of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is competent.
The problem is that since they threw Q to fly out the window, now
Then the
it's
whole like abusing webs thing is just what's the point?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Who do we have up next?
Siri Kai.
Yes.
So, I mean, both of us commented this. Your electric resist is a Diglett.
Yeah.
This is like you have to hard switch in Diglett on every electric type, and if they ever call that, then you just lose to said electric type.
Yeah. The one thing is though, Diglett being a trapper, like even if you just sack him on to the electric type doesn't exist. The electric type only gets 1 kill max. So
Oh,
I
it's a
still think
Shed Shell.
yeah, but if they're Shed Shell, like you've won in prep.
Against this team, honestly, I think they just lose to the Shed Shell electric.
Fair enough. That's actually not a bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 3 water types. Like drop the Sphere, drop the Charmander. Again, this is someone that is just scared of going super top heavy. Those are 9 points. Let's look at what's in 8 points for a real ground resist.
Electric resist.
I have found the mon that this team needs to pick up.
Is it Turtwig?
Turtwig's 9 points, so it's too expensive.
Oh, it's too
There's
expensive.
a couple. There is pick up the Sandygast. Double ground is fine.
Double ground can be workable, yeah.
Or pick up the Dealing.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Dealing's a really fun mon.
Dealing could work here, yeah.
It also gives this team another, like, it also gives it an 18 speed tier because at the moment it's got 20, 19, and then 17.
Yeah.
So that'll make the speed tiers nuts.
True.
You could also pick up, like, I don't really like Voltorb as a mon all that much because it's kind of like Regieleki where it doesn't get away to hit electrics or grounds.
Yeah.
But if you have a Diglett that can trap things, then they're pretty good.
Yeah, Voltorb could work here.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, though, I think you pick up the Dealing. Like, Dealing gives you a really nice speed tier. And just, yeah. Like, that's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I really like this team. Spritzy, I am a big advocate of Spritzy.
Spritzy's
Apon
really
and Diglett, too, like, quite good.
Yeah.
Round 1 and 2. Krogunk, I think Krogunk is underrated.
Krogunk's solid. Yeah. I respect Krogunk.
And then Natu, in an old league that I used to play in, we had a saying that was Tortuga time.
Tortuga
because
time.
Tortuga got a lot of shell smash sweeps. The webs work really nicely here for Krogunk, for Natu, and actually for Tortuga.
Yeah.
Because Tortuga has the same problem that Clamperl does.
Tortuga is even slower than Clamperl.
Yeah. But it does get jet, at least. So
yes.
It's like... Bonsai is just... like, it's really good because nothing here wants to run Berry Juice, like, exclusively, except the Bonsai. So it can run Sturdy Juice. Tortuga as well is a Sturdy mon.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, drop the Charmander, drop the Sphere, pick up the Dealing, and then pick up something else. If you really want 2 usable mons, which, like, I don't advise against this, but some people I know are weird about that. pick up the cheapest ghost type that you can find, which is probably like I don't even know what it's going to be. It's just a spin blocker.
Yeah.
And then you could like even pick up like a Chikorita, which is not terrible.
Chikorita's okay.
Yeah. Or even like a Venonat as your resist. It's a double poison.
Yeah.
But yeah, like pick up a Phantom actually does both of those things, and that's not the most egregious mon ever.
Phantom's okay.
But yeah,
Let's take a quick
yeah,
look at the type chart.
yeah. Let's look at the type chart.
So yeah, we already talked about the electric problem.
The ghost problem is a little bit there, which is partially why I've been saying pick up the dealing
Yeah, it's good.
because
Oh, right,
I
the
think
A-palm has the ghost resist.
yeah, dealing's not a fantastic ghost resist either. I think it's a bit better than APOM. But just having two immunities makes it like goes a lot further. And also double normal when your fighting matchup is Spritzy, Krogunk, Natu, Dupiter, I think is perfectly fine. Like
That is
those are
indeed
four of
very fine.
probably the best resists in the whole tier.
Also, Blinn, you have failed to mention one egregious thing that is missing here. There is no dark type.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, because like looking at their type chart, they only have one psychic resist, and it's not two.
Yeah, okay. So this honestly, this is the first time I'm going to say this. I think in Little Cup, this is a team that can get away with like a shitter dark type.
Yeah.
Like, where's the cheapest dark type we can find? Just put that on this team. Because I genuinely think that it just like between Dupiter, between Diglett, Apom, so two, like you have enough ways that you can just kill mons. That this is one of the first teams that I've seen that doesn't actually super need a dark type. Like I still think they should get one, and they can even be better with one. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
If there was a dark type that was also an electric resist, like Chef's Kiss, that would be the mon to pick up.
Yes. All right. Let's rate it.
Where do you think? I've got an opinion on this, but where do you think this should go?
Okay. Well, without the dark, and with the current electric issues, I think I need to actually hold on 1 second. I need to look back at Gex's team quick. I think I do like this better than Gex's team. Okay. I'm gonna put it at the top of competent.
I honestly think that this is the bottom of title contender.
Okay.
I think it's pretty significantly better than Gex's team because there's just not really a bad mon. Like
That's
the Sphere
fair,
and the
honestly.
Charmander, I don't think are great.
I think it
But
is a
there's
title.
not really a
I
bad.
can see the logic there. Yeah, I'm good with putting it in bottom of title contender. I mean, functionally,
Yeah.
well, currently that's the same relative positioning. So
Yeah. Let's
moving
head on to who's up next.
three skill.
Yeah, this is my week one opponent.
Yeah.
This team is, I think the bet, like my comment sort of sums it up. This team is very boring in a good way.
Yeah, it's good.
Like it's just, hey, it took Rufflet and then Stunky and Mudbray. Like probably the one of the most standard round 1, 2, 3s that you can get. It took Snubble, which is a good mon. It took a spinner and a spin blocker. It took Webs. It Clauncher, I honestly like. I think to improve this team, I would just ditch the Mareep and get a better water type than Clauncher.
Fair.
Because like that's 9 points. In 8 points, there's like ditch the Mareep, get a 1-pointer, and then maybe pick up there's a few decent water types like Piplup or Froakie, I think could be a nice on this team. I just don't really see what Clauncher does for this.
That's fair.
And it feels like Mareep was there as like an extra electric resist, but what like outside of specifically Chinchou, Mudbray just blankets all electric types.
Yeah, and you also have a Bramblin as well as an additional electric resist.
The flying resist on this team is Archon and Mareep, so maybe that's why the Mareep's there. But again, what flying type really cares about Mareep?
And also
Um,
technically Bramlin, depending on what move they're clicking.
yeah, but then if you like for me, example week one, I just ran both Air Slash and Hurricane on Wingo,
Yeah,
and because like Bramblin's a good Hurricane resist, but if you click Air Slash, it just dies.
true.
So like it doesn't take much to catch it off guard.
Yeah,
I think this is really good though.
let's take a quick look at the type chart. I don't think there's anything egregiously wrong here.
There's only one rock resist, and the rock resist is the Mudbray.
Yeah,
But considering almost every rock type is physical, that's not an issue. The rock types that this team has to worry about are
it's like
things like Tortuga,
yeah,
who are like rock water or rock grass, like Lily, for
Glimmet
example.
as well, just like really strong special attacking rock types.
Yeah. But outside of that, like again, I think this team is also going to come down to how lucky you are hitting clicking moves with Rufflet
Fair.
and how effectively you're going to be able to spin slash defog.
Yeah,
Because like if you look at it, these mons are good, but like Rufflet, Magby, Archon all get hurt pretty badly by rocks. Stunky actually doesn't love coming in on rocks a lot because it has no recovery and it's often a bulkier piece. Same
yeah,
with Snubble, but less so. So, but honestly, I think this is one of the best teams that we've seen.
I think so. Yeah.
Like I'm putting this in title contender. Like I think this is whose team is that we put up?
This is a Bright
I
Wing. Is the very top.
I think Brightwing's team is still better.
Okay.
So I'm putting this in second for me.
So are we putting them in? Is throwing if they lose a game tier, or are we still putting them in
Yeah,
title contender? Okay.
yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Okay.
I,
I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
yeah. And like, if you're using my team as sort of the top of title contender, I think this is definitely better than mine. This is a
Yeah.
team that was drafted to make a really good team.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Moving on. Small of.
This is a tried and true combo, except for one thing.
Yes.
They forgot the hazards.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, my dude, just one thing I will say, I'm really happy that someone drafted Metatite. I think that one is like slept on.
Yeah. I think that's
Um,
cool.
just Grimer also is a really good one.
Yeah.
Um, just my guy, drop the like. What do you have drop for hazards here? Um, this team also kind of wants webs. Like if it's got such a good spin blocker and such a good
Yeah.
spinner, like it wants webs. So it's yeah, it's interesting. I think the Morlul has to go on this team. I think the Tandem Mouse has to go.
Yeah.
Um, and I'd almost consider dropping the Growlithe, and just in those three spots, get a Weber, get some hazards, and then get something else. You just want you want just spikes, pretty
Yeah.
much,
You definitely
to
want to
like
have a
really
spiker
put.
in this. Yeah.
Yeah, like Sheldon might get hazard.
Shelter actually, I think maybe does get spikes
Okay.
and toxic spikes actually.
Oh, it gets spikes and T spikes. I always forget that. Yeah, you want webs though. Like
Yeah.
you really want webs. I mean, if Sobble doesn't pick the cutie fly back up, then just draft it. Like ditch the
Yeah.
Growlithe and the Molol for a cutie fly.
Ponyard Cutiefly is really good.
Oh, it's such a tried and true combo.
Like
Growlithe Molol
I
is
was straight
15
up going.
points.
That was my plan going into the draft when I saw the order, as I was going to draft exactly that combo.
Yeah.
But Smoliv got Ponyard before I could take it, so I had to pivot.
Yeah, honestly, dropping Molol, Growlithe, and um, Tandemaus for a 1 pointer for the cutie fly and for a 6 point, like just decent one.
Yeah.
I think that's the play. There's no fighting type on this team,
Yeah.
which is really sad.
Oh wait, no.
Is there a fighting
There's a
type?
meta
Oh
type.
wait, no, there's the meta type. I'm so used to not looking at the 10th mon because it's usually just a 1 point shitter.
Yeah, it is
Um,
actually relevant in this case.
yeah. One mon they could pick up. They could pick up Spoink. I think Spoink is really cool.
Fair.
Um, and I think it's really good value because it's got thick fat, which means it gives you that fire resist that you kind of don't super have at the moment, especially if you're dropping the Growlithe.
Oh right,
Gives you
yeah.
an ice resist.
The Growlithe is the main fire resist right now.
Yeah, it also just has kind of nuts coverage.
I guess Shelter also
Like
is a
it
fire
gets,
resist, but
yeah, it gets Psychic, Gleam, Flash Cannon, Power Gem, Grass Knot, Shadow Ball, Chilling Water, Icy Wind.
yeah.
Like it's just, I think it's just really good. Surprised I haven't recommended Spoink to someone before. It also gets Trick and Taunt and like just a move pool of yes.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Shall we tier this?
Um, what are you thinking?
Um. Go, go back.
Like on potential, it could go.
It definitely has potential. Yeah.
Like this has potential to be better than my team. But at
Yeah.
the moment, considering that it's missing and it's just got like a few mons.
Bottom of
Let me have a look again.
competence.
Let me have a. I think this is better than. Hmm, yeah, maybe bottom of competent.
I think it's
Yeah,
reasonable.
like
Yeah.
bottom of confident with like almost an asterisk of like change a couple of things, and this is really good.
I mean, yeah. Power rankings always have that asterisk. To be fair, but
Yeah, but like this one more so than others,
yeah.
I think.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, so we're up to Fire Bros team.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
The
this
team
is
with
the
the
speed
speed
cliff.
cliff. Not the
Yeah,
speed gap. The speed cliff.
Voltorb Hisui, I think, is just a really fun mon to use in Little Cup. And Farfetch'd is again just super good.
Farfetch'd is
All
very
these
good.
teams, yeah, it shouldn't have lasted this long, really, round one, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Um, but then from there, I'm not really sure what happened. Grimer's a good mon, Corfish is a good mon. The whole bottom four are just kind of cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is a 6 mon team, maybe 7 if you just want to set where screens.
Yeah. Impidimp is
But
screen spot.
yeah, then like Trap Inch was taken way too early. But Farfetch'd hits I think it's 15 speed. Let me double check. Farfetch'd hits 16 speed. This is basically like drafting. This team is basically like you've drafted Deoxys speed and then nothing over like 80 base speed.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this team, like Fuecoco and Grimer, are two like good mons at being fat and being a nuisance. They're going to get overrun because now all of the mons that we've been talking about that hit 17 speed get to run modest and adamant. And
Yeah.
like for example, I still have the Spoink here that I was recommended. Like instead of at 16 special attack, it now hits 17. It can now just throw a life orb on there because it doesn't have to worry about scarfing itself. The other thing is this team has one good scarfer.
Yeah.
So you have to worry about speed from exactly 2 spots.
Yep.
And oh no, trap like normally with teams like this, Trap Inch can trap the one fast thing that you're worried about outrunning. But no, there's just going to be every fast thing. Like if we,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, it's not good.
Mm.
Like if we go back to say the previous team, Smoliv has a Drillbur.
Yep.
Look at that Drillbur, and now if we go to or that Zoro or Hisui, and now
Yeah.
look at this team. Drillbur just
Yeah.
runs through it. It just runs a train on this team. This team doesn't have a ground resist.
Yeah. Yeah. It
This
straight
team
up
doesn't
doesn't.
have a
Yeah.
It doesn't have a ground resist, and it has 4 mons weak to ground. It doesn't have a fighting resist.
That's especially egregious. Yeah.
Yeah, they drafted 2 dark types, which is like, yeah, okay, you listened for a little bit, but
Yeah.
one of them's an impidimp, so you drafted one really good dark type.
Yeah,
This
Grimer's
team
good.
didn't draft a flying type.
Yeah.
Instead, we went for the pair of flying resists that just aren't good mons. Yeah, this team is going to have to be carried by those top 2 and
Yeah.
Corfish. They, yeah.
Alright. Let's tier it.
This is.
I mean,
Let
it's
me have a
definitely down
look.
here, I think. The question is where down here?
I think it's in second place at the bottom. Like it's
So,
like,
here?
yeah, there I think is a good spot.
Okay.
Which I think is really funny compared to our last power rankings that we've actually got some people in the top, but we've
Yeah.
also got 4 people in the bottom tier. Like,
Yeah.
Dusk Div is kind of
Yeah.
a bit nuts.
Okay, I've got a thing I have to do in 10 minutes. So we need to try to get to the next 2 in 10 minutes. Speaking of
Okay,
which,
let's do this.
hey, I know that guy.
Okay. Yeah, so I can talk about this.
Yeah,
This
go
team
ahead.
is just good. This team is just good. It is an 8-mon team with 2 mons that might come once this season. The really funny thing is that this Snom lives like a timid flamethrower from Torchic,
It's
which
very
is
fun.
just is kind of stupid. But in
Yeah.
reality, Snom's never coming. Snom could come if there was no fire and no flying type and no steel type,
I know rock
and I could
type.
just blanket all special tips. No rock type, no rocks. Feebas is kind of cool because it's like 19 speed. Well, no, sorry,
18
18
speed.
speed hydro pumps,
Yeah.
which are cool. Speaking of speed tiers, like we got 3 mons at 19 here, 1 at 17. So the speed tiers aren't great because it falls off a little bit after Trubbish, but having 4 mons that you could bring realistically every week that are like, well, 3 of them being 19 and 1 of them being 17, like I think it's fine. Pancham round 3, really good fighting type. Mastiff is, I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
Taylor's a brilliant flying type. Round 5 Taylor is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lily, but I think it works really well on this team because it gives you, like, it's not a ground resist, which is what I think puts a lot of people off it. But if you look at Lileap's bulk, I think it has one of the best bulk lines in all of Little Cup because
It's
it's
crazy.
66 HP, 77 defense, and 87 SPDF.
Yeah.
Like its SPDF stat can hit 19.
It's stupidly
Which,
fat.
yeah. Also with water, like Storm Drain, it just now becomes better than normal grass types at being a water resist.
Yeah.
It's not a ground resist and it's not a flying resist, but I fully believe that Lileap can be built to beat 1v1 every ground and every flying type in the format. Except maybe like a Alolan Diglett because it hits you with super effective steel move.
Yeah.
But just like, yeah, I think it's really good. Qfan is just a lot of like it just hits hard. It's a rocker. Last time I used Qfan, I just led with it every game. Like I led with Sash Qfan and would either click a button real good or just get up my rocks and then chip something.
Hmm.
It's a really nice team. I don't see too many flaws with this.
Yeah.
If we go to
So,
the type chart, real
okay.
quick.
Yeah. Or yeah. We can go ahead. You finish your analysis, and I'll talk through my thought process quick. Why I drafted what I did.
Yeah. The only flying resist and the only fighting resist being was it
Qfan
Qfan
and
and
Trubbish.
Trubbish is not great, but Trubbish is a very good fighting resist. You've
Yeah.
got Flame Body Ponyta. I think it's not the worst. That's probably the weakest point of this team is its flying switching. I mean, fighting switching.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll let you.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just say this quick because I'm a little low on time. So yeah, when it got down to me, Ponyta was basically the best mon left on the board, so that was why I took it. Then Staryu, the main logic with that is that it gives me the the water resist pair of Ponyta, and also good spin support. So it means that I don't have to rely on like Boots Ponyta. I can run other items on it because Ponyta a lot of times likes to run like Berry Juice because it like puts itself down into Berry Juice range by clicking Blitz, and then you just get back up to full again, which is really funny. Uh, yeah, and then Pancham, as Blinn said, really good fighting. Trubbish is really good fighting resist, and also it's a good knock switch in because it's sticky hold. So that's also just a really nice thing to have in the team. Talo making it to me round 5 is insane. Really good speed tier. Also, Boom Burst is just a very funny button to click in Little Cup. Q-Fan also, very solid flying resist. Mastiff, is at this point I just don't need the Dark, and that was one of the best ones left on the board, so that's why I grabbed that. And then Blinn is the one that convinced me to get the leap, and I am starting to believe in it. I've playing around with it a bit. It definitely has a lot of potential. Phoebos was pseudo mascot pick, and then Snom because it's funny.
Yeah, I think if we tier this,
yeah, let's
go on.
I will let you
I think
pick the tier.
I think you're throwing if you lose a game, but I think you're bottom of
the bottom. Tier. I think that's fair. I think that is very fair.
Honestly, you know what? I think you're in second spot. I think.
Oh, you're putting me above 3 kill. Okay.
Yeah, I honestly think that 3 skill, like the quality of mons are just a little bit lower on that team compared to yours.
That's fair. Yeah, I have a very good core 8. I mean, functionally this is an 8-mon team, but it's a very good 8-mon team.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get on to this.
I was gonna say, I need to get going soon. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So basically, the TLDR with this is they didn't draft a Pokemon at the right time ever. They took Magnemite and Coughing as back wheel. There was still plenty of good stuff left on the board that they could have taken that was better than that, but they did that for some reason. Like, Stuffle is like a pretty good Bond, but like Mime Jr. round 3, what? And then
I don't get this.
Yeah,
There's one value pick in this whole draft, and it's Snivy. Like Snivy round 9 is a really good pick.
Round Snivy,
and it also desperately gives you a 17 speed mon with the rat.
Yeah,
it's like, the flying type being Starly is not great. This is another team where it was like, hey, instead of getting like some really good mons and building an 8 or 9 point team, I'm just gonna like spread all of my points out. Gimmighoul is 5 points, and then everything else is like 7 to 12.
Yeah, Gimmighoul is the cheapest mon on this team.
Yeah, it's just, I just don't get it. Like, I don't see the vision here.
There isn't like any clear threats here. Is kind of the biggest thing.
Yeah, like Magnemite is a threat because it's if you juice recycle and you don't have a way to like nudge it or like beat the endure, like it's really hard to kill. Stuffle's a threat because it hits hard and you really need to hit it specially.
Yeah.
To beat it. Snivy can get out of control, but the thing that you want with Snivy is like you need to break the fires, the steels, and the grasses. And like Krabby is your fire breaker.
Yeah.
Because actually this team is kind of fire weak outside of Growlithe and Krabby, because Stuffle technically counts as a weakness.
Yeah.
We also have triple normal.
Oh yeah, we do. Which is something.
Yeah. It's just strange. Like this team, I don't want to be mean, but I did find it funny when Savage was drafting and they were like in general chat being really pleased that they hadn't been sniped yet.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
In fact, Savage probably sniped a fair few other people because they'd always take them on like too early. Like if someone was wanting Coughing like round 3 or 4, or like round 4 probably, like Mime Jr. like round 5 or 6. Or Stuffle like round 5. Actually, I think Stuffle's probably the one that you've taken at the appropriate time.
Yeah. Early round 4 Stuffle is fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's.
I think we're putting in. I think this has heard. Like they've heard of Level
Okay,
Cup, like they know mons are good. They just
that's fair.
maybe in there. Is it? Let me just have a look at John the Melmetal real quick and see if it's worth going above that. No. I
Okay,
just remembered that's round one Minchino.
yeah,
But yeah, I will let you wrap up because I think you got to run
yeah.
somewhere in
I've got
like
to get going. But yeah, so
yeah.
this has been Dusk PRs. I hope you all enjoyed, and feel free to message us if you want to talk about why we placed things where we did, and see you all around.
Yeah, bye bye.